Hi everybody, and you're very welcome to our Los Angeles English School YouTube channel. If you don't know me, my name's Helen. I'm head teacher here at Los Angeles English School, and I'm also an IELTS and TOEFL trainer here. I prepare students for IELTS and TOEFL. So I see that some of you have already joined me, and it's really encouraging. Thanks very much for joining me today, because we are having the live stream, and it's very nice to see that some people have joined us. So thanks guys, and if you are here, let me know and say hi in the chat box, please. And also let me know where you are from. Alright, so guys, today we're going to be talking about essay writing, and you know probably, if you are interested in IELTS or TOEFL, that the essay for TOEFL and IELTS is the same. So the essay, I mean writing task number 2, and it doesn't matter if you're preparing for general IELTS or academic IELTS, or you're preparing for TOEFL, because writing task number 2 is identical. So there are some little differences, but overall it's the same. Also, I'd like to ask you if you are interested in IELTS or TOEFL. So let me know in the chat box, please. So what are you preparing for? Is it IELTS or TOEFL? So I can see someone is preparing, Ahmed from Egypt is preparing for TOEFL. Alex is preparing for IELTS. So I can see that some people prepare for TOEFL and some for IELTS, and this is great, because we're going to talk about 2 exams today. And basically, as I said before, the writing task is the same, so you don't have to worry about anything. And it doesn't matter if you're preparing for the IELTS or TOEFL, just for me to know what people joined me today. Also, if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel yet, but you'd like to get notified of all our upcoming lessons and live streams, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon, of course. Alright guys, so let's dive into our essay preparation, and I'm gonna share my presentation with you today. So you can see here the title, How to Write Essay Based on Preference. So we're going to take a look at this type of essay, because there are many different ways how you can write an essay. And on our YouTube channel, we have several live streams on essay writing already, and if you're interested, you can watch them. So we looked at different ways of essay organization, advantages, disadvantages, also reasons. But here today we will take a look on essay based on preference. So, and we will concentrate on this layout and plan and everything. Alright, so hopefully now you can see me. And guys, first of all, we'll take a look at a little differences. So IELTS and TOEFL. So as I said, the writing test number 2 is identical. Yes, it's true. There are only a few differences, and the first difference is timing. So for IELTS, you will be giving 40 minutes to write your essay. So it's a little bit more than for TOEFL, because for TOEFL you will be given only 30 minutes. So writing test number 2, IELTS 40 minutes, TOEFL 30 minutes. Yeah, so if you're preparing for TOEFL, it's gonna be harder for you. All right, and scoring system. So IELTS, the highest score is 9. And for TOEFL, the highest score is 5, or also it can be converted into 30. So for the examiner is going to be evaluating your TOEFL essay based on 5 scale criteria, but you will see the converted score and the maximum will be 30. So these are just small differences. That's it, actually. These are only 2 differences. Also, there are different evaluation criteria. So you can look at these criteria on the official IELTS preparation site, or IELTS site, or TOEFL site. But today I'm going to show you the overall description, so I just made it easier. And basically the descriptions are the same for IELTS and TOEFL, and this is what you need to be careful with. So the first one is development. So development is how well you address the topic. So you will see the topic of the essay. Address is how you understood the topic. You need to answer the specific question and make sure that you understand it clearly and you don't get sidetracked. How well your ideas, reasons, and examples support your ideas. So you need to extend your ideas, you need to give examples and reasons. So this is development. So the next criterion is organization. So here the examiner will be looking at your paragraphing, not only how many paragraphs you wrote, but also how you organized your paragraphs, so how you organized your ideas into paragraphs. And also cohesion and coherence. So cohesion and coherence is how you connect your paragraphs together, so the whole organization of your essay, and also how you connect sentences together inside the essay. So what linking devices do you use? This is this. And finally, also language use. When I'm talking about language use, I mean both grammar and vocabulary. So use of your grammar and vocabulary to express your ideas, sentence structure, and also word choice. Because sometimes when I evaluate my students' essays, they don't understand sometimes why I correct some words. So not only the spelling of the word has to be correct, but also how you choose the words, because we have collocations and not always we can use some words to express some certain meaning. All right, so let me check how our live stream is going. Yeah, it seems that everything is fine. From time to time, I will just check your comments and what's going on. All right, so guys, let's move on. Here I have a sample essay question, and as I said before, we're going to talk about problems, but all right, guys, so here I am again. Sorry for this, sometimes it happens. All right, so we are going to take a look at as I said, the essay based on the preference. So the best which Alright guys, so let's try it one more time, and I hope that we will not see this again. So let's move on to our essay question. So some people prefer to take subways when they commute to work. Others like to take buses to get to their jobs. Which do you prefer? Use specific reasons and examples to support your choice. So here let's take a look at the organization that I am going to share with you today, and I hope that you will find it helpful. So, but first, I'd like to ask you, which do you prefer? So do you prefer to take a subway or a bus? Even if you have a car, or maybe you live in a city or in a town, or maybe you are from a little village and you don't have the subway system, just what do you think? What would you choose? To get to work by bus or to take the subway to work? Let me know in the comments. So we have some answers. I prefer taking subway to get to work. It's relatively cheap, fast, and easy. All right. So of course, when you're going to be writing an essay based on your preference, first you need to think about your choice, and this is what you do. But we have here two different options. Yeah, so we have just a moment. So we have the bus and the subway. So for example, I am choosing to commute to work by subway. So this is my choice. I take the subway to work. And if you have the choice, so you have one option, what you need to do, you need to write down about the advantages of your choice. And you also can write down about the disadvantages of the choice that is not yours. So, for example, in the first paragraph, you can write down about the disadvantages of not your choice. So in my case, it's the disadvantages of riding on the bus. And in the second paragraph, you can put advantages to your choice. In our case, advantages to taking the subway. So this is one way to organize your answer. Of course, there are many different ways to do so, and we're going to look at them in our further live streams, and we took a look at some of them in our previous live streams. So today, this one. So let's think about the disadvantages to not your choice. In our case, we're talking about the disadvantages of taking the bus. So guys, which disadvantages can you name? Type your answers in the chat box, please. So disadvantages to taking the bus. So I have the answer here. I prefer to taking subway. So make sure that it's I prefer to take. You also can say I prefer taking or I prefer to take. Alright guys, so I'm going to share with you some disadvantages of taking the bus, and here we go. Traffic jams. So if you take the bus, you will have to be stuck in a traffic jam. Usually, for example, in big cities, there are really huge traffic jams. So number 2, stuffy if overcrowded and too hot in summer. So if you live in a place where it's hot in summer, in the bus it gets really hot and sweaty, and because there are lots of people normally, it's very uncomfortable. So number 3, you may need to pass other passengers' money on to the bus driver. So in some cities and in some countries, it's really common when people who are sitting at the back, they are passing their money on to the driver, and passengers who are sitting in front of them, it becomes actually their responsibility, so which is extremely uncomfortable. And number 4, it's rather uncomfortable to be standing if no free seats. So normally, if there are no free seats available, you will have to be writing while standing, and you will swing from side to side because of this movement of the bus. So here I listed some of the disadvantages. Let's take a look at yours. So we have here, it's not so fast, depending on the quality of roads, of course, and it's always packed, really. Yeah, and sometimes more expensive than subway. Yeah, especially if you have to take 2 or 3 buses, and it's boiling in summer. All right. So guys, the next step that we're going to make is we will think about the advantages to using the subway. So then you think about the advantages to your choice. Think please about the advantages of riding on the subway, please. And feel free to type your answers in the chat box, guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing them. So now I'm going to share with you the advantages to my choice, which is the subway. So no traffic congestion. So traffic congestion is just a more advanced way to say traffic jams. So when traffic is congested, it means there are lots of cars on the road. More comfortable if you have to ride standing. Yeah, because there is a huge difference between standing on the bus and standing on the subway. And it's more spacious and not too hot typically because it's underground, and it's eco-friendly. So if you are really worried about the environment and you are interested in environmental protection, I think this is the case for you, because really the subway system is much more eco-friendly than buses. All right, so let's check your comments. So we have the subway is more spacious than the bus. Yeah, there are escalators. You don't have to pass your money, just buy a ticket or a token. Exactly. Thank you, Victoria. This is a really great response. All right, so this is the first thing that you need to do. So first you need to choose one option, then you need to list. You can do it on a sheet of paper because you will have a sheet of paper prepared for you. Separate sheet of paper if you are going to take paper-based IELTS. If you are taking TOEFL, I actually would recommend typing these advantages and disadvantages just on the screen, like on the computer, because then you can develop them. So just you can type them straight away on the computer. If you're going to write IELTS, computer-based IELTS, you can also do the same thing. You just type the advantages, disadvantages, and then you can develop them. All right, so this is what you do. Think about advantages to your choice and disadvantages to not your choice. Okay, so now let's take a look at the plan. So the requirement is to have the following passages, or paragraphs. The first one is introduction. It's how you should begin. Then you need to write down minimum 2 body paragraphs. So this is the minimum for a good essay. In our essay today, we decided to put disadvantages of not your choice in body paragraph number 1 and advantages to your choice in body paragraph number 2. So this is a very typical, nice and easy to fulfill layout. And finally, we need to have a conclusion. So 4 paragraphs. All right, guys, so now let's take a look at how to write the introduction. I always give one strategy for writing the introduction, and this strategy is really simple and it's very well done. So normally. All right, so the first one is you write a general statement on the topic. Second, you write the prompt in your own words and answer the question and tell the reader what you are going to write about. Basically, for all types of essay, I will recommend to stick to one introduction because you will remember this thing, you will remember the strategy, and you can use it for any type of essay. All right, so let's take a look at how we can do this. So again, concentrate please now and try to remember. So general statement on the topic, rewrite the prompt in your own words, and answer the question and tell the reader what you're going to write about. So guys, let's take a look at the introduction, but we have sentences that are disorganized, so they are jumbled. So take a moment and try to organize the introduction correctly. So write in the chat box so what to put first and what goes next. So is it BCA or CBA or maybe ABC? So go for it, guys. So there are some answers in the chat box. Let's check them together. All right, so here we go. So the general statement on the topic is this one. Millions of people all over the world have to use public transportation to travel to work. So this is something general, very broad, and this is not the paraphrased version of the prompt sentence, but this is how it works. Sorry, I was sidetracked just a moment. I lost my attention. I'm really sorry. All right, so first you write the general statement on the topic. Millions of people all over the world have to use public transportation to travel to work. So this is our very broad general statement. The next one, we have to rewrite the prompt in our own words, and this is the sentence. While some people think that it is more convenient to get the subway to work, others would argue that it is much better to ride on the subway. So this is the paraphrase prompt. And then finally you answer the question and you tell the reader what you're going to write about. So I tried taking both the subway and the bus to get to my office, and can definitely say that I prefer to ride on the subway because it has so many advantages over the city buses. So this is your introduction, and this is how you organize it. So 3 sentences. Also, because you are asked in this specific essay question about your preference, so you can be free and you can write down about what you think. So I prefer, and so you can write on I, and it's completely okay. All right, guys, so moving on to our body paragraph number 1. So we agreed to write down about the disadvantages to not your choice in the first body paragraph, and how to organize the body paragraph. So first you need to have an opening statement. So you need to show what you are going to be writing in this specific paragraph. Then you need to write explanations and examples. And then if you have time or if you have ideas, I would also recommend to close the paragraph. So it's not the final conclusion, but this is a little closing to your ideas in this specific paragraph. So in terms of explanations and examples, because you will be writing about the disadvantages to not your choice, so actually there will be just some examples of disadvantages, some explanations, what you don't like, in our case about the buses. All right, and again I have a task for you guys. So here we have some sentences. So I'd like you to organize them correctly. Take 2 minutes, please, read it and try to put these letters in the correct order. So you have 2 minutes, guys. All right, so let's take a look at the correct answer. All right, so here we go. So opening statement. Let me begin by explaining why I consider that having a ride on the bus to work may be a miserable experience. So this is how you open your paragraph, and you show that you are going to be writing about the disadvantages The next, explanations and examples. First of all, the majority of people have to commute to work in rush hour. Since buses are always overcrowded and stuffy, it's extremely hard to find a free seat. It is inevitable that you will probably have to stand throughout the whole journey, which is absolutely uncomfortable because you will be swung from side to side. It is even more stressful in summer when it gets too hot and sweaty. Moreover, it could become your responsibility to pass other passengers' money on the subway, on the bus, onto the bus driver. Additionally, you can find yourself stuck in traffic and be late for work. Therefore, I always try to avoid traveling by this mode of transportation and would never recommend it to anybody. So we have explanations and examples, and then we have our closing. So this is the final sentence. Therefore, I always try to avoid traveling by this mode of transport and would never recommend it to anybody. So this is how you organize your body paragraph: opening statement, explanations and examples, and then you close it. Okay, so actually you do the same thing with your second body paragraph, but here you need to write down about the advantages of your choice. In our case, we're talking about subways. So again, you will need to have an opening statement to show that you prefer to take the subway, and you're going to be writing about the pluses. Then you will need to have some examples and explanations of those advantages, and then you will need to close it a little bit. So guys, for this, let's recap our advantages. So, advantages to your choice: no traffic congestion, more comfortable if you have to write standing, more spacious and not too hot, and eco-friendly. And actually guys, I don't know if it's a small challenge or a big challenge, it depends. So I'd like you to write down, not right now because it will take a long time, and I would like you to do it in the comments below the video. So when you see the replay of this webinar, you can go for it. It's your homework, so to say. I want you to follow this procedure. Write an opening statement, give explanations and examples, and close this paragraph. So write down body paragraph number 2 to our essay. So write down about the advantages of riding on the subway. So everything is already done for you. You just need to list all these advantages and to make sentences, okay? So it's your homework, and just type it in the comments below the video, all right? After this webinar, of course. And I will give you some more tips. So here we have some phrases how you can present advantages, disadvantages, or some of your ideas. So because you need to show the examiner exactly what is this that you are writing. So you can write something as: to begin with, first, firstly, first of all, secondly, one more upside which cannot be denied is, another -2 is, on top of that, moreover. So some phrases to give an example. For example, for instance, to illustrate. So some words to draw a conclusion: thus, so, consequently, therefore. And some words how you can write advantages or disadvantages in a different way. So advantages: benefit, upside, positive aspect, plus; disadvantage, drawback, downside, negative aspect, minus. So make sure that you vary your language and avoid repetition in your essay. For this, try to use different phrases. All right, and guys, we're also going to look at the conclusion. So again, a reminder, our topic for the essay is: some people prefer to take subways when they commute to work. Others like to take buses to get to their jobs. So which do you prefer? So now our conclusion, what to do here. So you need to paraphrase the prompt sentence. I know that we paraphrased this prompt sentence in our introduction as well. So do summarize. Then you need to summarize your reasons why you chose. Sorry again, sometimes it happens with the camera. I'm here again, I'm really sorry. I don't know what's happening today. Okay, so I hope that you could hear me, and we summarized the reasons for our choice. And what we do for this, probably I'll say it one more time because I'm not sure if you heard it or no. So in our conclusion, first we paraphrase the prompt sentence, again, as we did in the introduction. Don't forget to include such words as in conclusion or to summarize. Then you need to summarize the reasons for your choice. So you need to state again why you chose one or the other option. Let's take a look at the conclusion. So in conclusion, although some people opt for getting to work by bus, I would much rather take the subway because I am sure this extremely reasonable way of mass transportation provides more options and means traveling to work faster and in a cleaner and more comfortable environment. So as you see, I paraphrase the prompt sentence again. Some people opt for getting to work by bus. Then I said what I prefer, and I summarized the reasons. So I just basically summarized the advantages of using the subway. So guys, we are going to wrap up today's webinar, and I hope that you found it helpful. Okay. All right, so guys, thank you very much for being with me today. Once again, your homework, write down the body paragraph number 2. A reminder, it's where you need to write down about the advantages, to riding on the subway. And you can type this answer in the comments below the video. It's absolutely fine. All right, guys, if you have any questions, maybe you want to ask me something about the essay writing, you can also type your questions in the comments below the video, and I'll try to find time and I will try to answer your questions. A reminder, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to do so and hit the bell icon if you'd like to get notified of all our upcoming webinars and lessons. You also can study at our school. We have IELTS and TOEFL preparation and general and business English, so you can check out our website losangeles.englishschool.com and find all information you need. Also, we have essay correction service, so if you'd like, you can use it. You also can visit our website and check the information on that, so you will get the evaluation of your essay or writing task number 1 to TOEFL or IELTS with the evaluation, corrections, and recommendations. All right, guys, thank you again very much. It was my pleasure to be working with you today, and I wish you have a fantastic day or evening or whatever you are having right now, and I hope to see you in my next